see the description below for affiliate links to any products I regularly use or a product I am testing in this video with my Dogo Argentinos. For Dogo themed merchandise, please visit our store, link also given in the description below. Hi everyone, so this is going to be a voiceover. I got a new camera and I tried it on multiple videos, and this is the quality. I don't do camera reviews, that's not what I do, but this camera in particular I do not recommend. Like literally the quality is worse than my phone. My phone is over like 10 years of old, it's an iPhone, and the quality is horrible. Anyway, you guys are seeing me fuss the dogs because I have not let them go through the door. I have not released them, but they're trying to go through. Mostly Samara in the front is trying to come through the door when she should not be going through the door. Just while we're waiting a bit longer. So, and of course, every time she jumps, the other dogs jump when they get up. So this is just me waiting for them to, and there they go. They're off. So, I talked about a couple things in here, mostly rambling, but I do want to point out that in this video that you'll see all the dogs play together quite a bit obviously, but you'll more often than not see Samara and Jack play together. Kratos kind of off doing his thing like he is now. So that's just a recurring theme lately. Kratos does get involved every once in a while, but mostly the two girls like to play and wrestle around with each other. And a lot of that kind of eventually it'll get to be to the point where there's a lot of dominance behavior going on. So I'm gonna put Jack in some posture, etc., etc. But for right now, it is just play. I also want to mention that Samara is bigger than Jack. You guys will see that in this video that Samara is taller than Jack. Not sure about the weight yet. I need to get them reweighed, but Samara is currently taller than Jack already. So, pretty girls. Anyway, so I'm going to complain a little bit more about this camera because, and you guys can just watch the poor quality video. But you guys, so 4K, which I've learned that's like 4,000 pixels at 60 frames per second, and this is the quality that I get. And like everything I have is I've looked at other YouTube videos to try to figure out exactly what I'm doing wrong, because the quality of videos on YouTube with this camera seems to be good, but like this is what I get. This is what I get, and it's horrible. And I also record some other videos that you guys will see later on in the week, not back to back. It'll be spread out a bit. But yeah, and you see Kratos accidentally stepped on Samara's lemming just a little bit, but she'll walk it off pretty quickly. But yeah, so like I've worked really hard with the dogs, and they're yet to the point where they're not grabbing each other. I mean, they're pretty good now at not grabbing each other and dragging each other down. I've working really hard on them to not do that. However, they are still really rough, and they don't necessarily tackle, but they just like they still kind of shove each other when running around. So you see Samara, she's eating some nice fresh snow. It's not necessarily fresh, but she's eating some snow. Kratos taking a potty break in the back there. Yeah, and they're off again. Yeah, anyway, basically, you'll see videos like this. This is actually kind of which is crazy. This is the best quality video that I have had with this camera. And there's some other ones I also recorded the same day inside the house, which I think the inside of the house would be better. There's more lighting, but even in the best lighting, the quality was just horrible. Oh, guys. Yeah, I'm getting rid of the camera and getting a new one, but so unfortunately, my phone, which records better quality videos for sure, I can only record up to 3 minutes. I don't know, my phone is super, super old, you guys. And I've literally offloaded so many things onto my tablet for my phone. And still I can only record 3 minutes now. So unfortunately, Samara slipped on some ice. She walked it off as well. She's a little dirty, but she walked it off. There's Kratos there. And the two girls running in the back. Oh, Kratos following. Anyway, so yeah, those have been kind of my woes, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and record a video letting you guys know the delay, but unfortunately, besides these poor quality videos that I have already, I just won't be able to record too much until I get a new camera, which I will be getting a new camera. I have to do some more research, but my apologies. Now, I've explained this more in a video that you guys have already seen at this point, but yeah, this time of recording, it's just been poor. It's just been poor, you guys. I've had a lot of struggles with electronics this weekend. So anyhow, So it's really grainy in the background, but the dogs are eating snow back there. So yeah, so one of the things that I did talk about in this video, and also the reason why you guys don't hear anything is because the quality of the volume was terrible. Like you could not hear me. It was like I was mumbling. So the reason why I am doing a voiceover is because of that reason. It all stems from the same camera. Video quality is just poor. It's just the camera is just it's trash. Anyway, guys, one of the things that I was talking about in this video is just kind of the confirmation, the AKC anyway, the AKC confirmation standards for the Dogos and how I believe my Dogos kind of, um, compare. So when I first got Kratos and Samara, I did believe with both of them that they weren't show quality, at least not for the AKC standards. I think they're very excellent dogs. They're healthy. They're, athletic. Kratos definitely is the easier dog to deal with, which is crazy because I've always heard that females are kind of easier to train and stuff, but that's not been the case with Samara. Samara is very stubborn, really wants her way, and tries very hard every day to get her way. Even if there's something that she's done a million and one times, she's gonna try every single time to try to get to do what she wants to do. And I just had not, I just did not have that experience with Kratos. But anyway, but very much they're Dogo Mastiffs. But confirmation, for any of you guys that don't know, confirmation is the way that the dog looks. So it has nothing to do with their their functional ability, nothing to do with their character. It's literally the way the dog looks, which can sometimes cause problems. So that's the only thing that you look for in your dog, because a dog that looks good is not necessarily built well. It's not necessarily, um, I don't know if emotionally sound as well is a good way, but you have dogs that are just reactive for ways because of breeding. They're just poorly bred, and they're suffering from that mentally. Um, but anyway, regardless of all of that, I think that Kratos and Samara are amazing, amazing dogs. They while Samara is incredibly stubborn, there's just things like she's only stubborn inside the house. In public, she's like the best. She's not the best dog, but she does so much better in public than she is when she's at home. But she walks fairly well on the leash and is not perfect, but she walks better than the other dogs do at when she was their age. Um, and she's very outgoing. She's not as wary of things like Kratos is. But anyway, back to the point. I don't believe that any of my dogs are fit the confirmation standards. And this was always my original thought, but even now with more information that I know, I still kind of stand to that thought. So the issue with Samara is Samara has a black dot on her back, which automatically disqualifies her, and she also has an underbite. So I've also heard that in regards to the Dogos, sometimes when your dog doesn't get the right nutrition, they can't, or certain dogs can get under and overbites, but they sometimes outgrow them. And so that might happen with Samara where, she has a bit of underbite now, but maybe it'll correct itself as she gets bigger. But I'm not banking on that, because she had the issue with her legs when she was a young puppy, if you guys have been here for a while. And once I got on the proper food and we were kind of, I gave her a little bit of supplements, but her legs straightened up fairly well. And then after that, she's kind of had the underbite going. So I don't think that's something that's going to really correct itself, but we'll keep an eye out. Like I said, this is my first time with the breed, so I'm still learning. But at the moment, those are the two things that. Oops, sorry, y'all. Those are the two things that currently disqualify her from confirmation. But personality-wise and everything, she's an amazing dog. Kratos, also an amazing dog. I think he fits a bit more the standard, but there's not going to be any dog that's perfect in confirmation. Even your champion dogs, they still have areas where they can improve, a bit. So there's not the perfect dog out there, at least a dog that looks right. But you try to keep close to the standard. You see Kratos, or not Kratos, but Samara and Jack in the background pooping. The quality gets a little bit worse as it gets darker. So my apologies for that, you guys. But I didn't want to show you guys them playing since, you guys see something, even though it's poor quality. Um, anyway, so, um, so yeah, so But I personally don't think that Kratos fits it because, like, I mean, at first I really thought that Kratos was like, all right, 1 second. All right, you guys, I'm just doing this video, and my apologies for all the messes up, everything I'm messing up on as far as just talking. But when I first got Kratos, he was very wary. He's a very wary puppy. New things he was very uncertain about. Um, I mean, and he just like, his personality, in my opinion, just wasn't as strong. I still kind of stand to that. He's not. He's a good dog. Like he can go. I can take him anywhere, and he does fairly well. He sticks by me. He looks for me to direction, so he doesn't try to run off or anything. The only thing that I can say that we're working on right now is him ignoring other dogs and not trying to approach other dogs. But he's still young, so we have time to work on that. But still, he's a very wary dog to a point where I think it's not the healthiest, right? And in the wrong hands, a dog with that personality can be a fear aggressive dog. And luckily, I've done the work that Kratos does. He does fairly well. He doesn't like men in the house, but otherwise, he's very friendly with everybody outside the house. Women can come in if a woman wants to steal anything from my house, like Kratos would welcome them in. So he's a good dog. He's a well-rounded dog. I've done you guys can see Samara in the background trying to dominate Jack. Anyway, guys. But Kratos, like his personality just isn't where I would want it to be. Technically, I would like a little bit of more like between Samara and Kratos. I kind of want a dog that like is right in the middle because Samara's a good girl. Don't get me wrong, but she's so stubborn. I like that Kratos is just not as stubborn. He's not as stubborn. But regardless, back to confirmation with Kratos. I mean, not and confirmation doesn't necessarily look at character, but that's one thing that I just thought that he lacked in. And as an example, when he was a puppy, naturally I got him in 2020, and the first time I put on a mask. So usually when I put on a mask, I have a mask in the car, so I don't put on a mask until I'm out in the car and I'm going out and about. And so the first time I put on a mask inside the house, I forgot what I was about to do, but I was about to go out. I put a mask on inside the house. Kratos bolted. Not only did he run away from me, even though he watched me. Look at him. Look at his little jump. He just watched me put the mask on. Not only did he run away, he also did a little of like the tinkling as well, which is super annoying. And it's just not something that, and that's just one example, right? Gosh, I wish I could think of another example of him being a little bit more fearful than necessary. There's definitely been many. I'll probably talk with him earlier on the channel, but yeah, that's just one example of this. Like he did that, and what else did he do? Um, yeah. Another thing I think was the vacuum. And the vacuum, like other dogs like the vacuum, except for Jack. Jack's a weirdo though. The other dogs like a vacuum, which is pretty normal. Dogs usually don't like vacuums. But with Kratos, like the other dogs, they avoid it. Paco, Samara, they avoid it, especially when it's on. When it's off, they don't really care. But when it's on, they just avoid it, and that's it. Kratos, he literally like, and he's better than he is now. Like he grew up, that's fine. But just comparing like all my dogs to Kratos when at a certain age, when Kratos was younger, if I if even if I wasn't on it, just standing there, he would park himself in the kitchen underneath the table that I have in there, and he would stay there. Like even if I went to the back, no matter where I was, he was not moving. He did not want to walk past it or anything like that. Like my other dogs, they are willing to walk past those, those the my vacuums, anything that looks like it. They'll more than willing to walk past it. Kratos just did not want to do it as a puppy. And when I would call him, like, okay, Kratos, we need to come back. Can you get over it? He'd come, but he little key, going, as he'd come, And I don't chase my dogs with vacuum cleaners. You'll see people that kind of do that, and if they're just kind of unnecessarily mean, but I don't chase my dogs with a vacuum cleaner. I let them kind of observe it from a safe distance or from a safety, whether it's in their kennel or whatever. Kratos being rude, so he kind of became a barrier and um, had the girls run into him. But I guess if he wants to hurt himself, that's fine. The girls don't look any worse for wear as you see them running now. Anyway, so it's just little things like that happen with Kratos. I'm just like, okay, his personality just isn't where I would like it to be. right? But just keep in mind that your males are typically going to be more, aloft to other people, other things. So if you're having an issue to where your male isn't really that friendly with other people, or not necessarily they're not friendly, they're not attacking, but they really don't care about other people outside their house, inside the house, outside the house, so they just don't really care. They don't want to get petted, anything like that. That's fairly normal, so don't worry about that. Males, they tend to be, they're aloft, just doing their thing. Most my experience anyway, more friendly in that sense. But so anyway, it's not always going to be the same thing. You'll have a female that is aloft, they're super friendly. So, but just general, that's what I've noticed. Um, yeah. I think that's all I really talked about in the video. I'm trying to think to make sure, but I'm pretty sure that's all I talked about. Um, so I think the video is about to end soon, you guys. Yeah. So, anyway, you guys, I'm going to stop talking because I actually have no clue when this video is going to stop. But thank you guys for joining, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video.